This is the last time we'll be meeting.
You don't listen, do you? You just ask the same questions every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts.
The police, Texas Rangers, allegedly feds, their representation of your government. How do you feel knowing that they're coming down on you and you did nothing to no one?
I just feel ostracized. I feel belittled, and unfortunately, I'm not surprised. I didn't think it would go any other way. Amber has received so much support from her community, and I feel like I didn't receive the same. She's the one that actually pulled the trigger that murdered somebody. I'm the one that tried to help put a murderer behind bars, and it just seems like she got so much support and I got none.
Now, as you looking for jobs, people kind of recognizing your face a little bit due to them putting your information out there. Do you feel safe here?
No, not at all. There were a few threats. I did get a few threats from people saying they weren't going to leave any witnesses behind.
Joshua Brown was trending on Twitter today, I believe. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of people outraged. I want to bring you guys some updates about the jurors, Ronnie Babbs, some of her little testimony, her interview with the Advised Show TV at the time. He's now known as African Diaspora. He also made a video today. I'm going to put the links down below. You should definitely go check it out. I'm going to briefly talk about the verdict and the new update in the story and just a couple little things here and there. So I want to first start off with they're confirming now and saying that he wasn't shot in the face and chest. Lee Merritt, I believe, was one of the first people to say that he was shot in the face and chest. A lot of people, I think that upset people even more. It says here, this is by CBS Local. In the news release Sunday, police said Brown was found with multiple gunshot wounds to his lower body. Judge Clay Jenkins also tweeted that Brown was not shot in the mouth and head. Let's talk about the jurors. The two of them came out and they spoke to a news media organization. Pretty interesting what they had to say. They didn't back down on anything. They said that, they feel that it was an honest mistake, and that they felt comfortable with the verdict and the sentencing. And check it out.
You can't compare this case to any of those other officers killing unarmed black men. Those officers that killed unarmed black men, when they got out, they went back to living their lives. Amber Guyger, she showed remorse, and that she's going to have to deal with that for the rest of her life.
This next soundbite, they're referring to the prosecutors when the closing statements were going on and they were talking to the jury. They requested 28 years. They said at least in the minimum 28 years, because I believe Botham's birthday had just passed. And I believe he would have been 28. I don't know if he was 28 at the time. I think it was that he would have been 28 or something like that. So they were trying to relate that to at least sentence her to the years that she took away, kind of thing. The other ironic thing that I want to throw in there is that Joshua Brown, from reports, is that he's 28 himself. So he died when he was 28. Kind of crazy. And the other thing to note about this soundbite is they feel comfortable in how the sentencing and the verdict. And he says, according to this guy, that they acknowledge that it was a mistake.
Prosecutors were asking for 28 years. You all landed at 10.
I told everyone because we all agree that it was a mistake, and I don't think Bo would want to take harsh vengeance. I think he would want to forgive her.
I was saying on the live stream that I don't think the jurors should come out because of the tensions that are so high, publicly, and start speaking, because you never know if people are going to try to seek retaliation, but they're doubling down, and this is how they feel, and they feel they're right. And to segue into the whole apology with Botham's brother, Brandt, they said, I guess the jury, after seeing this, the hug and all that stuff, that it made them feel at ease that they did the right thing and they chose the right sentencing and verdict,
giving these jurors some peace of mind.
It kind of helped us feel like we ended up with the right decision.
While we're on the topic of forgiveness and Botham's brother, he actually did go on a news media station and replied and just said, who is he not to forgive?
Who am I to not forgive someone who asked? I waited 1 year to hear I'm sorry, and I'm grateful for that.
Well, let's talk about the verdict. And on one of the last videos or live streams that I did, I spoke about the reason why I believe they chose this. And I believe there's a reason for that. At one point in the stand, she said she intended to kill him. She shot to kill him.
At the moment in time when rubber meets the road, when you pulled that trigger, you intended to kill Mr. John.
He was the threat, yes, sir.
Will you answer my question? when you aimed and pulled the trigger at Mr. Jean, shooting him in center mass exactly where you are trained, you intended to kill Mr. Jean?
I did.
Now, this next soundbite is a reporter from ABC, the people that interviewed the jurors, at least these two jurors, and he says and confirms that they based their murder charge off of her saying that she shot to kill.
And at trial, Guyger acknowledged that she intended to kill Jean. The jurors telling me that's all they needed to hear to find her guilty of murder.
So here's where I think things are problematic. Just follow me here for a second. Now let's take this back. They based the murder charge off of the prosecutor having her say on the stand, having her say that she shot with the intention to kill, right? But you have to look at it from overall, from both sides, right? What's going on here? Now she's trying to say that she made the mistake, right? That she made the mistake. She thought it was her own place, so she shot to kill. And we had this thing that was taken to effect, mistake of fact, sudden passion, and castle doctrine, which none of them, I believe, the jury applied. So the problematic thing here for me, okay, you have these jurors saying they all came to the conclusion, right? This guy's on national TV saying that it was a mistake. This is their belief. You have to put yourself in there. If you're looking from their perspective, if they believe that this is a mistake, then why did they charge murder?
We all agree that it was a mistake.
I'm sure there's people probably raging right now, commenting in the section, how could you say that? For the people that are saying that, let me just break it down for a second of what I'm trying to explain and what I'm trying to imply. Manslaughter, the definition, the crime of killing a human being without malice or forethoughts. Now, there's different kinds of like manslaughter, involuntary, whatever. Murder definition, the unlawful premeditated killing of one human being by another, meaning premeditation. We always talk about this. People never understand it when you bring it up in these kind of conversations. Thing here that I'm trying to point out is that they went on TV and said that it was a mistake, but they went and charged that it was murder, meaning premeditation. So that's kind of like, that makes me think, like, does this open up a loophole for them to go and appeal? I don't know. There's probably a bunch of things they could look through. There were some news media organizations saying that they believe the defense will. I personally think it will be a bad move because it could backfire doing an appeal. I just now looking back and seeing what this juror said, that there could be a lot of holes, but I personally don't think it's worth it for Amber Guyger to do this or her team. It would just be such a bad look. But also, too, for the defense, I mean, mistake of fact. If the jury thought it was a mistake, then why didn't they take into account the mistake of fact? But whatever. Moving on from that, let's get into Ronnie Babbs. And I can only play a few little clips. I definitely think you should go check out the video if you're interested in seeing that full interview. Ronnie Babbs is the person that recorded the viral video of Amber Guyger outside of Botham's apartment on the phone. It was huge because she posted it to her personal Instagram account. And when she did this, it caused chaos, right? She got fired from her job. The day after she posted it on Instagram, there was police, I guess Texas Rangers, coming to her place every single day for, like she said, 14 days at one part. And they kept asking the same questions over and over and over.
They started asking me the same questions every single day. And that kind of made me feel like they were trying to get me to change my story or try to, set me up in a negative light. And I did get a feeling like they were trying to get me to give a different answer, and they were trying to pressure me to say something that I said differently yesterday.
One of the parts of this interview, too, which was just really weird and kind of creepy, is where she's talking about that after the Texas Rangers, the DA and feds were there, they wouldn't give identification. They wouldn't tell who ordered them to be there.
The DA, and also I was visited by the feds as well.
She describes them as men in black suits. She also states that they refused to give her any kind of business card.
They had on suits. They had on black business suits. They denied me any business cards.
In this last soundbite, Ronnie Babbs is talking about her credentials being blacklisted. Now, what happened is after she posted the video on Instagram on her personal page, she stated that she got fired from her job. She threatened her job to go to social media and the news media. Then her job went and blacklisted or whatever her credentials. She said she worked for some pharmaceutical company. That pharmaceutical company issued her credentials. And the reason I wanted to bring that up is because I talked about this just the other day, that employers in certain fields can blacklist you, even in a way that's not official, but they all know each other, these companies and corporations.
And they actually took it a step further and blacklisted my credentials.
I really wonder why they didn't use Ronnie Babbs for the trial as a witness, a person that actually recorded the footage and heard whatever different sounds. I know that her credibility was brought into question. I made a video regarding it because it said something about her GoFundMe. If you watch the full video on the African Diaspora News Channel, they have she explains all that on there. Not only that, besides getting fired, the whole thing with Instagram, her personal page got deleted, which is where she posted the video, but then they deleted her business page to her business account. Now, the last part of this video, I pulled up some information on Joshua Brown, the sources, The Root, Tampa Bay, and Heavy.com. John Brown is originally from Jacksonville, Florida. He attended the University of South Florida for college after attending Arizona Western College, studying interdisciplinary science. According to his witness testimony at Guyger's trial, he was a roofing contractor for a few years after graduating from college, and he's now been running a business managing Airbnbs, including 2 in Los Angeles, 1 in Atlanta. He was working on getting another Airbnb in Dallas. So from the reports that I'm reading, Joshua seems to be a businessman, educated. It's also reported that he's athletic. While at USF, Brown was on the football team as a defensive back. He played 8 games. He had 11 tackles in the 2012 season, but was unable to play in 2013 after suffering a torn Achilles during a workout. In 2012, he appeared in 8 games, recording 5 of his 11 tackles in a dramatic 32-31 victory at Nevada. He appeared in 9 games at Arizona Western and led the Matadors to an 11-1 record. While in high school, he earned letters in 4 sports and was a 2-year letterman in football. He was the number 60 cornerback prospect nationally after his senior season, according to Rivals.com. And a few more notes here. These are his former USF teammates describing what Joshua Brown was like. He was a passionate individual, a guy that always spoke his mind no matter what, and one of the funniest guys at USF, could make anybody laugh. Another person described him as athletic, competitive, and his love for video games. And that was one of the first things that me and my friend noticed on the live stream. We were watching the trial, was a Dragon Ball shirt, which is pretty dope. And one more person brought up this memory of him. I remember first meeting him and him talking to himself in third person. It was funny to me. And with that, I'm out of here, extremely tired. I think that this definitely needs to be investigated. For sure, it's suspicious, but we need to get all the information, and we also need to hold not only the person that did this, obviously, but the people that are performing these investigations. Somebody needs to be behind them, making sure that it's actually being done properly. And enough on that. Take care of yourselves.
I see potential subscribers.